Waking up at night to urinate isn't just annoying, it's a hidden warning sign. Your body may be trying to tell you something deeper is out of balance. In this video, you'll discover the real reason behind this disruption and what you can do to finally sleep through the night. You wake up in the middle of the night, again. Maybe it's 1:46 a.m. or 3:12. You stumble half awake to the bathroom, handle your business, and try to go back to sleep. Sometimes you drift off. Sometimes you don't. And in those moments of tossing and turning, there's one question echoing in your mind. Why does this keep happening? Most people blame the obvious: drinking water too late, aging, or maybe just having a small bladder. But the truth is far more complex and far more fascinating. What if I told you there's a hidden link causing these nighttime awakenings? One that doesn't start in your bladder at all? Let's start by understanding what's supposed to happen at night. Your body isn't just sleeping. It's shifting into a whole different mode. A nighttime mode that includes deep repair, memory consolidation, hormone production, and more importantly, suppressing unnecessary urination. Yes, your body has a built-in system designed to stop you from needing to pee during sleep. This system is heavily influenced by a hormone called vasopressin. It's your internal water regulator. When functioning properly, vasopressin sends a message to your kidneys to concentrate urine and produce less of it, especially while you sleep. But here's the twist. If this system is out of balance, your kidneys don't get the memo. They keep working as if it's the middle of the day, leading to a full bladder at 2 a.m. Now, what causes this system to malfunction? That's where the mystery starts to unravel. And it has everything to do with how our modern lives interfere with ancient biological rhythms. Let's talk light. Artificial light, especially blue light from screens, suppresses melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle. But that's just the beginning. Melatonin and vasopressin are part of a finely tuned symphony. When one is disrupted, the others fall out of sync. So, just by scrolling through your phone in bed, you might be sabotaging not only your sleep, but your bladder control too. Now add to this the stress you carry from the day. Cortisol, the stress hormone, follows a natural rhythm. It should be low at night. But if your mind is racing or you're eating dinner too late, your cortisol may spike when it should be declining. And elevated cortisol suppresses vasopressin, which means more urine, more wake-ups, less rest. And here's where things get even more surprising. The impact of fragmented sleep goes beyond just feeling tired. Research suggests it can disrupt immune function, impair memory, increase cravings the next day, and over time, even raise the risk for chronic conditions. So waking up to urinate isn't just a nuisance, it's a red flag. But the body is intelligent. When you learn to work with it instead of against it, remarkable things happen. So before you accept nighttime urination as your new normal, know this. There are natural, powerful ways to restore balance. You can retrain your system, gently and safely, to do what it was designed to do. Now imagine reclaiming those deep, uninterrupted nights. Waking up refreshed, not groggy. That's not just a luxury. That's your body doing what it's meant to do. And yes, there's something even more powerful coming. A combination of ingredients, when used at the right time and in the right way, can naturally support this hormonal balance, and I'll be sharing that soon. But before we get there, we need to dig deeper, because the real cause of your nighttime trips to the bathroom may be hiding in a place you'd never expect. And missing this next part won't just limit your results. It could lead to side effects that most people never associate with sleep or urination at all. And once you understand this hidden connection, you'll never look at your nightly routine the same way again. You might be surprised to learn that the real cause of your nightly bathroom visits might not be in your bladder or even your hormones. It could be something much more familiar, something that's hiding in plain sight, on your plate, in your pantry, or even in that seemingly innocent evening snack. Let's take a closer look at how what you eat and when you eat can quietly sabotage your night. Because here's the truth. Food is not just fuel. It's information. It tells your body when to wake up, when to rest, when to release hormones, and yes, even when to produce urine. One of the most powerful disruptors of your nighttime balance is sugar, especially when consumed late in the day. Sugar increases blood glucose, which in turn pulls more water into your kidneys in an attempt to flush out the excess. This leads to increased urine production. But it doesn't stop there. That innocent dessert after dinner? It spikes insulin. And insulin interacts with cortisol, your stress hormone, creating a hormonal tug-of-war that keeps your body on high alert even when your head hits the pillow. And remember vasopressin? This sugar-insulin-cortisol chain reaction can block its effectiveness, breaking the signal that tells your kidneys to slow down during sleep. Now consider salt, but not just any salt. The kind found in most processed foods, like chips, frozen dinners, and takeout, contains high levels of sodium chloride without the balancing minerals your body needs. This kind of salt can cause dehydration at the cellular level, prompting your body to pull water out of tissues and send it to the bladder for elimination. Result? You guessed it, midnight urination. There's another silent culprit, caffeine. While most people think of coffee, caffeine hides in many evening treats, like chocolate, soda, and even some protein bars. It's a diuretic and a stimulant, meaning it not only increases urine output, but also delays deep sleep stages, making you more sensitive to bladder signals. But here's the part that almost no one talks about: your gut. An inflamed or imbalanced gut can trigger low-grade stress signals throughout your body, keeping cortisol elevated and disrupting your entire circadian rhythm. And when your rhythm is off, your sleep and bladder coordination fall apart. So, what can you do? Start by making smarter choices in the evening. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Swap sugary desserts for a small portion of fruit or herbal tea with cinnamon, which helps stabilize blood sugar. Choose whole, natural salts like Himalayan or sea salt during the day, and avoid processed snacks at night. Pay attention to hidden sources of caffeine. And most importantly, feed your gut with anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, fermented vegetables, and soluble fiber. These changes may seem small, but they create a powerful ripple effect. When you calm the internal chaos, your hormones begin to realign. Vasopressin can do its job. Your kidneys slow down, and your sleep deepens, naturally. The truth is, our bodies were never designed for the modern food environment. But with awareness and a few strategic changes, you can begin to restore the natural intelligence of your system. Now, here's something most people miss entirely. The timing and type of hydration can either be your ally or your enemy in this journey. And if you get this part wrong, all the other steps could lose their power, or worse, lead to the exact problem you're trying to fix. That's what we're about to uncover next. And once you understand this, you'll never hydrate the same way again. You've seen how food and timing can quietly sabotage your sleep. But there's another habit, something most people think is healthy, that could be making the problem worse without you even realizing it. Hydration. That simple act of drinking more water. We hear it everywhere. Drink more water. And it's true. Hydration is essential. But when and how you hydrate might be one of the most overlooked reasons you're waking up at night to urinate. Not because you're drinking too much water, but because you're drinking it at the wrong time and in the wrong way. Let's break this down. Your kidneys are highly sensitive to your circadian rhythm. They know when it's day and when it's night, if your body is in sync. During the day, your kidneys are meant to filter blood rapidly, processing waste and producing more urine. But at night, that process slows dramatically to allow the body to rest. This slowing is supported by hormonal signals like vasopressin. Now imagine what happens when you drink a large glass of water, or even a full bottle, within an hour of going to bed. You've just reactivated the filtration system. Your body, which was beginning to wind down, suddenly gets a signal, flush. But here's where it gets even more subtle. It's not just the volume of water. It's also how evenly you hydrate throughout the day. Most people rush through their day half dehydrated, then remember to catch up on water in the evening. This backloads fluid intake at the worst possible time. Your kidneys receive a late spike of fluid and start working when they should be winding down. And it's not only plain water. Herbal teas, broths, soups, and even fruits high in water content all contribute. While they're beneficial during the day, consuming them too close to bedtime shifts the balance against your sleep cycle. Another overlooked factor? Electrolyte balance. Drinking large amounts of water without adequate minerals, like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, can actually cause the body to flush water more quickly, increasing urination. This is especially common in people following low-sodium diets or consuming distilled or purified water. So what can you do? First, front-load your hydration. Aim to drink most of your fluids before 5 or 6 p.m. A simple rule: stop drinking large amounts of liquid about 3 hours before bed. If you're thirsty in the evening, sip small amounts slowly. Second, add natural electrolytes during the day. A pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon in your water can help your body retain hydration more efficiently. Coconut water, leafy greens, and bananas are also excellent sources of key minerals. Third, listen to your thirst earlier in the day. Set gentle reminders to sip water regularly from morning until late afternoon, rather than flooding your system at night. And finally, rethink the well-intentioned advice to drink herbal tea right before bed. While it may seem calming, certain herbs, like dandelion or hibiscus, have natural diuretic properties. If you enjoy tea at night, opt for ones that don't stimulate the kidneys, like chamomile or lavender, and keep portions small. Your bladder should not be running the show while you sleep. By understanding how hydration timing influences your sleep cycle, you give your body permission to enter deep rest. And when you finally sleep through the night without interruption, your body has the chance to fully repair, reset hormones, and rebuild energy for the day ahead. But there's a deeper layer to this puzzle that most people never connect to their sleep or their bladder. It's not about what you drink or even what you eat. It's about the signals coming from deep inside your gut. And unless you address this internal source of irritation, every other step you take could be undone without you knowing. And worse, it could lead to chronic imbalances with long-term consequences. That's what we'll explore now. Most people never imagine that the gut could have anything to do with waking up at night to urinate. After all, digestion and urination are handled by different systems, right? Not exactly. The truth is, your gut isn't just a digestive machine. It's a communication hub, sending signals throughout the body, including to your nervous system, hormones, and immune system. And if your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or under stress, those signals get distorted. Let's explore why that matters. Within your gut lives a vast ecosystem of bacteria, your microbiome. When this community is balanced, it supports digestion, mood, immunity, and even sleep. But when the microbiome is disturbed through processed foods, antibiotics, alcohol, or chronic stress, it triggers low-grade inflammation. This inflammation doesn't just stay in the gut, it travels. Inflammatory compounds like cytokines move through your bloodstream and stimulate the nervous system, particularly the vagus nerve, which connects your brain, gut, and bladder. The result? A hyper-responsive bladder. In simple terms, your bladder gets the message to empty more often, even when it doesn't need to. But the gut's influence doesn't stop there. A compromised microbiome affects cortisol levels, melatonin production, and immune balance, all of which play a role in your sleep cycle and nighttime bladder control. Think of it like this. Your body is trying to sleep, but your gut is sending stress signals, triggering cortisol, reducing melatonin, and making your nervous system more reactive. Your bladder, in turn, becomes more sensitive. The urge to urinate increases, and your sleep is once again disrupted. So how do you calm this invisible fire? The answer lies in feeding the gut, not with volume, but with precision. Start with fiber. Soluble fiber, in particular, acts as food for beneficial gut bacteria. It's found in foods like oats, apples, carrots, chia seeds, and legumes. When your good bacteria are well fed, they crowd out harmful strains that promote inflammation. Next, bring in fermented foods. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt with live cultures, and miso contain natural probiotics that help rebuild a diverse microbiome. Just a tablespoon or two a day is enough to make a difference over time. Don't forget polyphenols, powerful plant compounds found in berries, olive oil, green tea, and dark chocolate. These compounds act as antioxidants and also feed friendly bacteria, supporting a balanced gut environment. But just as important as what you add is what you remove. Cut back on refined sugars, artificial sweeteners, processed grains, and industrial seed oils. These ingredients fuel harmful bacteria and disrupt the delicate balance in your gut. And timing matters too. Eating late at night keeps your gut in a state of work, not rest. Try finishing your last meal at least 3 hours before bedtime to give your digestive system time to wind down. A healthy gut doesn't just mean better digestion. It means better sleep, reduced inflammation, balanced hormones, and yes, a quieter bladder. This connection may seem surprising, but it's backed by emerging research and countless personal experiences. When you nurture your gut, you create a cascade of improvements that reach every system in your body. Still, there's one more piece of the puzzle, a natural way to bring it all together. A specific combination of ingredients that, when prepared the right way, can soothe your nervous system, support bladder control, and help regulate your hormonal rhythm at night. But here's the thing. If you use the wrong form, wrong dose, or wrong timing, it may not just be ineffective, it could lead to frustrating side effects. That's why the next step is not only one of the most powerful, it's also one of the most important to get right. When your gut is inflamed and your hormones are out of sync, your body is constantly reacting instead of regulating. That's why even small, targeted changes can shift the entire internal landscape. But there's one more layer that holds everything together, and it comes from nature itself. Plants have been used for centuries to support balance, calm the nervous system, reduce inflammation, and even influence hormone production. But it's not about just throwing herbs together and hoping for the best. The key is using the right plants, in the right combinations, at the right time. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked ingredients for bladder health, pumpkin seed. Rich in zinc, magnesium, and plant sterols, pumpkin seed extract has been studied for its role in improving bladder function, especially at night. It helps strengthen the pelvic muscles, supports the tone of the bladder wall, and reduces overactivity. But it must be cold-pressed or gently ground to preserve its active compounds. Simply chewing on seeds won't deliver the full benefit. Now combine that with olive leaf. Known for its powerful antioxidant oleuropein, olive leaf extract supports blood vessel health and reduces low-grade inflammation, especially in the urinary tract. But not all olive leaves are created equal. To be effective, they must be dried slowly, away from light, and steeped gently, not boiled, to preserve their polyphenols. And then there's chamomile. Gentle, soothing, and widely known for relaxation, chamomile goes deeper than most people realize. It interacts with GABA receptors in the brain, helping to lower cortisol and prepare the body for rest. It also calms intestinal spasms, which is crucial if gut inflammation is playing a role in nighttime bladder signals. These three, pumpkin seed, olive leaf, and chamomile, create a trifecta that speaks to the nervous system, the bladder, and the gut all at once. When combined properly, they begin to retrain the body to stay in nighttime mode longer. But this isn't just about what you use, it's about how you use it. The right preparation makes the difference between healing and frustration. For instance, pumpkin seed should be lightly crushed or ground fresh before steeping, not roasted or salted. Olive leaves must be steeped for exactly 10-12 minutes in water just below boiling, about 90 degrees or 195 degrees, to avoid degrading their compounds. And chamomile should always be steeped covered to trap its essential oils and preserve its calming properties. The timing is just as important. Consuming this infusion about 1 hour before bed allows the herbs to begin their work gently without overstimulating the system. Drinking it too late or too early can reduce its effectiveness. And here's something most people overlook: consistency. Natural remedies don't force changes. They support the body in reestablishing its rhythm. That's why it's essential to follow this practice daily for at least 10 to 14 days before expecting significant results. Your body needs time to trust the new pattern you're offering. When used correctly, this herbal combination can support deep sleep, reduce the urge to wake up at night, and help recalibrate the hormonal and nervous systems. It's a gentle nudge back to balance. But remember, even natural ingredients can cause discomfort if misused. For example, using large amounts of olive leaf extract without proper preparation can irritate the stomach. Overusing chamomile may lead to drowsiness the next day. That's why proper dosing and mindful use are non-negotiable. This isn't just a home remedy. It's a way of communicating with your body, reminding it how to sleep, how to restore, and how to let go of the signals that no longer serve you. And yet, even with all this in place, there's one final key that brings everything together. A hormonal imbalance that often hides in the background, disrupting your sleep, your bladder, and your overall vitality. It's time to uncover that last missing link. Because unless you address it, the full healing process can't take root. And using the herbal combination without this awareness could limit your results, or worse, bring about the very symptoms you're trying to avoid. You've already seen how the nervous system, the gut, hydration timing, and specific herbs all play a role in your body's ability to sleep through the night without unnecessary bladder interruptions. But at the center of all this is something deeper, a rhythm that governs your entire internal world. And when this rhythm is disrupted, every effort to correct the symptoms becomes a struggle. This rhythm is your hormonal cycle, and the two key players here are cortisol and melatonin. Cortisol is often misunderstood. It's not a bad hormone, it's essential. It wakes you up in the morning, keeps you alert, and helps you respond to stress. But it has a natural curve. It should rise in the early morning and fall gently through the day, reaching its lowest point at night so melatonin can take over. Melatonin, on the other hand, is the sleep hormone. It's produced by your pineal gland in response to darkness, and it signals your body to slow down, repair, and rest. It also has a regulatory effect on vasopressin, the hormone that tells your kidneys to reduce urine production at night. Now here's the problem. In today's world, most people live out of sync. They experience elevated cortisol at night due to stress, late meals, screen exposure, or emotional stimulation. This suppresses melatonin production and, in turn, disrupts vasopressin. That means more urine, more night wakings, and a broken sleep cycle. Fixing this isn't just about taking melatonin supplements. In fact, for many people, synthetic melatonin can cause grogginess, dependency, and even worsen the hormonal imbalance if used improperly. The solution lies in helping the body produce its own melatonin again, naturally, consistently, and safely. Let's start with rhythm. Your body thrives on predictability. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, can reset your internal clock within a matter of weeks. When the brain begins to anticipate sleep, it starts releasing melatonin earlier, deepening rest and improving hormonal balance. Light exposure is another major factor. Morning sunlight is essential for setting your circadian rhythm. Just 10-15 minutes of outdoor light within an hour of waking tells your body it's daytime, which helps shut down melatonin and raise cortisol at the right time. That way, by nightfall, cortisol naturally drops and melatonin takes the lead. Equally important is reducing light at night. Blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs directly suppresses melatonin. Consider dimming lights after sunset, using warm lighting, and limiting screens at least an hour before bed. If screen time is unavoidable, blue light filters or amber glasses can help. And now, the final piece, the natural sleep support infusion that ties everything together. To make it, you'll need 1 teaspoon of freshly ground raw pumpkin seeds, 1 teaspoon of dried olive leaves, 1 teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers. Heat 250 ml of water until just before boiling. Pour it over the ingredients in a cup. Cover and steep for 10 to 12 minutes. Strain and drink 1 hour before bed. This preparation isn't just relaxing, it actively supports the hormonal environment that promotes deep sleep and reduces nighttime urination. The magnesium in pumpkin seeds helps calm the nervous system. The antioxidants in olive leaves reduce inflammation that interferes with hormone signaling. And the compounds in chamomile soothe both the gut and the mind. But again, consistency is key. Don't expect a miracle on the first night. Give your body time to adjust, to trust the new rhythm you're creating. Over time, you may notice that you sleep deeper, wake up less often, and feel more restored in the morning. That's not luck. That's alignment. This is what happens when you stop treating the symptom and start listening to the body's wisdom. When you give your body what it truly needs, healing doesn't feel like a fight. It feels like a return to something you were always meant to have: rest, balance, and the energy to live fully. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to share it. Someone close to you may be quietly struggling with the same issue. And your simple act of sharing could open a door to healing they didn't know existed. Like, subscribe and stay connected. Because knowledge, when shared, becomes medicine for more than just one.